Hi everyone, my name is Todd and I'm the program manager for the Full Stack Web Development Program. I actually look after a variety of programs. So obviously the Full Stack program, I look after digital marketing program, content marketing, accounting, information privacy. And I say that because I want to make it clear that I am actually not a content expert in any of my programs, and certainly not Full Stack. So I'm going to provide lots of information today about the program. I'll provide some information on the courses, but if you have very specific questions about content, I'll do my best to answer them, but I may have to get back to you offline if I can't answer the questions. And my role really is quite varied, but yeah, I look after the instructors, I look after the integrity of the content, I do some of the marketing stuff like these promotions, budgets, I develop a lot of new programs, but I would say that my most important role is to ensure that you as a student has a positive learning experience. So I'm always trying to tweak things and make things better once I get feedback from students to ensure that you guys are getting value for the program and you guys are getting what you want out of it. So with that, I'll move to give you a quick little agenda. So I'll talk a bit obviously about the program, all the details. I'll talk about the format. I'll talk about how to register. And then at the end of the session, I'll spend as much time as you guys need for Q&A. So if you have questions, just put them in the question box. Sometimes I'll peek there, and if I see a question that if I said something wrong or if it's in the moment I can answer it, I will. Otherwise, I typically just wait to the very, very end to answer all the questions. So before I get to about the programs, let me just ask you a few poll questions just to get to know you guys a little bit better, and then I can make my comments as personal as possible. So the first question is, I'm just asking or wondering, why are you hoping to study in the Full Stack Web Development Program? So you're looking to change your careers, you're looking to improve some knowledge and skills, you're looking for a credential because maybe that's important to you, or maybe it's something else. Okay, great, another 2 seconds, and all right. So as you can see from the results, it's pretty varied, which is great. So there are some people who are changing careers, some people who are trying to just improve their knowledge. Sometimes we have graphic designers and things that want to learn the back end. Some people looking for a credential, and nobody had a different reason, but that's fine. And that kind of fits really well with who the students are in our program. So it's pretty varied. I'll talk a bit about if you're a total newbie and you don't have any background, but let me ask the next question, which might give me some more insights into that. Okay, so the next question is, I just wondered which statement best describes you. So if you kind of use the I know as the first part of the sentence, I know nothing about full stack, I know some front end, or I know some back end. So just curious to see where people kind of fall in where they're at with this. Okay, great. So I'll close that. Oh, everyone voted, nice. Okay, so you can see here that there are a few people who are total newbies, and I will talk about how you approach this program. And there are some people who have some front-end experience, which is quite common. Like I said, like we have a fair number of graphic designers or people who understand HTML or CSS or JavaScript. Nobody usually has the back-end part, so that doesn't surprise me that nobody here has that experience. Okay, one last question. Okay, so just wondered when people were hoping to start their studies. So you're looking to start, oh, that should say January, it should say September 2000, sorry, it should say January 2021 and September 2021. Sorry, that's a mistake on my part. So just think about it as January or September. Forget about the year there. Okay, well, perfect. So everybody's looking for January, which makes the most sense because it's obviously coming up. If you were planning for September, I'd be quite impressed that you were thinking ahead this far. Okay, so I'll just share that, but that's 100%. As I said, I am not a content expert. I'm going to talk a bit about the program, and I'm going to leave this slide up for you to see because you can probably understand some of this technology and language. Again, I've learned a lot since I've been managing this program, but like I said, I'm not an expert. But I'll talk about the program a bit, and I'll leave this slide here just so you can kind of look at it and sort of get a better sense of what each course includes. So I'll start by saying that it's a 6-course program, and we had a team of industry experts. We call them a PAC, or a Program Advisory Council Committee, and they kind of help us figure out what's most important in the field, where are the trends in the field, and we develop the program based on that. So one little caveat you can see from the slide, that we flip-flop two of the courses because it seemed to make better sense after we launched. So the number sequence is a bit off, but that doesn't really matter to you. But we did make 2020, 1020 is before now 1010. Okay, so the program is taught by practitioners. And what I mean by that is the people who teach the program are actually working professionals. So they're working in the front end, they're working in back end, they work for, a variety of companies. Some are independent contractors. One guy just got a job with Amazon in sort of the full stack capacity. So these are people who, are really up to date on current trends. They're not faculty on campus who spend their day doing research. These are people who really know how to apply what you're learning to real life situations, which I think is really important. There is no textbook in the course, so once you pay the fees, there is no textbook you have to worry about. All the content's being provided to you in our platform, which is called Moodle, but we really don't use Moodle as much as we use some of the other platforms like GitHub, and we use Slack, which is for a lot of the communications. So our classes basically meet every other Saturday. So each course will have 4 face-to-face sessions, and they run from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. So it's a full day. It's on Zoom. That's the way the mode we're in now with obviously with COVID. And it's been working actually quite well. So just like you would in an in-class course, there's opportunities for the instructor to sort of lecture you and give you some, sort of concepts. There's opportunities for you to go into small breakout rooms and have discussions. There's group discussions. So there's a variety of ways that the instructor would, engage you just like he or she would if you were in a classroom setting. In between each class, so we'll call it week 2 based on what the slide shows. That's where you guys are really practicing what you learned. And, there are some people who don't have experience in some of the topics or the front end or the back end, or, they may not be an expert in JavaScript or, React, whatever all those good things are. You need to plan to put in some of your own time. And that's a really important concept. So yeah, there's going to be the Saturday full days. There's also open labs, which I'll talk about this in a moment. We have tutors, student tutors that are there to support you as well. And they usually will have an open lab on that off week in week 2. But you definitely need to sort of think about and prepare for having some self-study, you learn the concepts, because you'll never become an expert in our program in CSS and HTML and JavaScript and React. And these coding languages, they take a long, long time to really become proficient. So just be aware that your time and your budget for how much time you participate and use is not just going to be solely the 4 Saturdays and you can walk away and be done. It does require in this particular program a lot of outside effort as well. The capstone course, I'll just go back here for a second. The capstone course is a project that you will do, and I'll talk about that in a moment as well. But that course has also a lot of sprints. So if you're familiar with sprints, there's like these little competitions that are done each in the live sessions to kind of give you some additional opportunities to sort of to learn. If you guys have questions about that stuff, again, just post it in the discussion, the question box, and I'll answer it at the very end. So as I was saying before, each course is 4 sessions. It's live online, and they're from 9 to 4. We do use Slack as a communication tool, which is like an industry standard if you're not familiar with it. There's also Microsoft has Teams, which some people may be familiar with. So it's just one place where I set up, what I do is I set up little course channels. And within that course channel, there's lots of communication, sharing. People share code saying, hey, this broke, this is what happened. And then between the instructor, the tutor, and other classmates, people will sort of help and support you. There is a program, I talked about number 3 already, but number 4, there is a program-long project which we've created to help you kind of connect the dots in a way. So the course, the project is basically you building a personal website. And that website would have like a home page. It would have a form for people to fill out to sort of contact you, which in the back end would be the database, which you can then recall on and kind of reach out to people. There's an e-portfolio kind of resume page where you can take some of your projects in the class and post it to the site so that you can show that to potential employers. And obviously, at the end, you'll have this personal website. But more importantly, you've sort of seen the whole from front to the back end. You've seen each step and every course kind of touches on it. So in every single course, you're kind of adding on to that website to put it all together, which I think is a neat sort of concept to approach the learning. That doesn't mean that there are not other assignments that you have to complete. Not everyone is tied to this sort of project, but it is a really cool thing that you can kind of have at the end to show off to people. And then you're obviously building a website. In the capstone course, you're building a website as well. And actually, what we've been doing lately is working with real companies. So the instructor is finding companies that need to sort of have these websites built. You work in groups. So you get to interact and do something that's also real, which you can then add back to your e-portfolio to show off to people. In terms of the fee for the program, it's $9,600, but we do know that's a fair bit of money. And because the program is a year long, this program is eligible for a payment schedule. So when you register, you have to make a payment to sort of secure a spot of $3,200. And then you can make 2 equal payments, which is basically before the next term begins, of $3,200 to sort of pay it off before the program ends. So that does help a little bit in terms of you don't have to worry about coming up with the funds all at once. It does allow you a little more flexibility in how you make those payments. Like I said, we do have tutors, and that actually is something we just started in the September cohort. And really what that is it's actually a graduate of the program in most cases. In one case it's not, but and they really understand what it's like to walk in your shoes in a sense. So what they've done is we've created this tutor where they're kind of having these open labs. They're there to answer questions. They're there to support you. Again, they know where some of the gaps are, maybe the learning and where people sort of struggle. So they can really add some extra support that on top of the instructor. We've been really fortunate that our enrollments have really gone way up, and I'm not sure if it's because of COVID or because the whole world has gone online, and because Shopify is now the largest company in Canada and they build websites. But really our enrollments have gone up, so this tutor really is an important component that helps support the lead instructor and also makes it easier for you to kind of get access to an expert. As I said, all the courses are instructor led. There is some of that online work. There is some peer-led stuff, so people are helping each other. If you've seen from the first thing we did with the polls, there are some people who have experience in the front end. So when you're in those front end courses, for those people, it may be a little more of a, it's not so new to them. It's a refresher for them in some cases. So they're going to be able to help the people who maybe it's totally new to. And as I said, there's some of the self-led stuff, which you should certainly plan about 5 to 10 hours per week, practicing stuff, getting more familiar with React and the coding and JavaScript and all that good stuff. But you have to learn how to learn. So we're not just going to give you all the information and be like, okay, you're done. You definitely have to be invested in this program. Absolutely. This slide has a lot of information. It's probably hard for you to kind of digest. I'll leave it up here for a quick sec, but this is sort of a little thing I created, which kind of gives you a sense of what's some of the things you do in the class. On the left-hand side, those are like the class projects and activities. And on the right is the personal website project. So again, it's a lot of information. Don't need to memorize it, but I just thought maybe you want to take a quick sec to kind of peruse it just to get a sense of what that entails and what you'll actually end up and learn as you go through the different courses. While that's up, I just want to mention one thing I forgot to talk about, which is the program is cohort-based. So what that really means is the same students were in course 1 or the same students in course 2 and course 3 and course 4. So that really, I think, is a nice benefit for you as a student because you get to actually build a community. You get to know and build some sort of study groups. There's obviously networking opportunities if people are already working in the field or they know people who have some job opportunities. You can kind of share that. Obviously, there are group projects and things like that, which hopefully, if you guys know each other a little bit, you know your strengths and weaknesses, and this guy is really good at this, and this person's really good at that. So you can kind of, figure out how to manage that process, because in the real world, especially with building websites, you're working with teams of people, and working with teams is part of, learning how to be successful in the job. So it's not just the fact that you can build this website. but you also know how to problem solve. You know how to, be in teams and have empathy, so you can kind of understand what it's like to be in the shoes of the target audience of the people that you're building the websites for, and all those good things. So that's a really important part of the program. So it is cohort based, and I think it's important for you guys to be aware of that. So hopefully you guys have perused this page a little bit and got a little more information. I just wanted to take you to our website for a quick sec, just to sort of show you around there. You probably have all been there, but I'll take you anywhere and just show you around, then I'll come back and we'll do some Q&A. As you can see here, it's our website. This is like our main page for the full stack program. Obviously, there's lots of information here about the program, reasons why you should participate in the program, some of the statistics around job growth and stuff. And if you don't know this, I can sort of share with you, but Shopify has made an announcement recently that they're hiring 2,021 new people in 2021. That's the campaign, 2021 in 2021. So they're not all going to be in actual full stack web development, but they're going to be hiring a lot of people. The growth in these industries is really booming, so it's a great time to be kind of thinking about a career change or improving your skills to sort of offer more value to your clients or to whatever sort of job you might work in. But yeah, I think it's just a cool thing. And actually, one of our students, who's actually one of our tutors, yesterday got a job at Spotify. He's not working as a developer; he's just more in the customer service. But it's a first step for him, and he was super excited about it, which was great. And I'm sure having the background of a full stack web developer really helped him get his foot in the door. You can kind of peruse the website. You can see some of the slide I showed earlier. That's all there on the website. You can peruse. You can sort of see that the delivery. Here, there's information about our instructors. You can kind of see a little bit of their bios and stuff and where they work and what they do. You can see a little bit about the advisory council. These are the senior people I mentioned who have really helped us sort of design the program. Here's a bit about the technology and some of the things you need. You can kind of go there as well. I won't go there now, so it'll take me to a different page. Just going to scroll quickly to the top of the page. If you have questions, you can certainly reach out to our team. And then if you want to enroll, like I said, it's open enrollment. There's no application to the program. But certainly if you are a newbie, you definitely need to think about, you're going to have to sort of learn the content a little more than the others if you've had no exposure to full stack at all. But really just hit the register button, follow through the prompts, and you can check out. So that's all I really wanted to share with you today. I'm now going to sort of sit back and I'll go through your questions and I'll answer them all. Before I do that, I'll just leave this one slide up here while we're doing the Q&A. And this is really the team of people who can support you while you're thinking about this program. So Mike is our advisor, and you can reach him through continue@yorku.ca. Dawn is our registration coordinator, so you can kind of reach her by email or by phone. So once you become a student, she can help with the payment plan and those kinds of things. We're obviously not on campus. You can see I'm in my home, but there is our address. And certainly if you have questions, you can certainly set up an appointment with someone by just phoning us or emailing us, and they can sort of set that up for you. Okay, let me pull out the questions, see what we got there. Okay, so I'll answer the second question, then I'll go back to the first question. So Adam's just asking, when should we expect registration to close for this particular semester? Yeah, that's a hard one to answer because it really goes to enrollments. So when I looked the other day, we're actually at 25, I think, or 26, something like that. And I'll probably cap it at 40. So as soon as I get to 40, I'm going to cap it. And then you'd have to register in the September term. I don't know if I'm doing a May term. I don't think I'm doing a May term. So it'd be then September. So yeah, so I don't want to say like it's a hard sell, like register today or you're gonna lose your spot. That's not my personality, but it's true in terms of about 25, 26 have registered. I usually cap it at 40 because I just need to make sure it's it's manageable for the students and also for my instructor and my tutor. So that kind of answers that question. How often is the course content updated? Yeah, that's a great question. So it was I think about a month ago, I had a meeting with all my instructors and we talked about the content, what things we wanted to improve or where there were some gaps in students. So two things on that. We're always thinking about the content and we're always trying to find ways to make sure we're staying on trend. React is becoming sort of more important. So we're going to sort of focus a bit more on React, and we're actually trying to find ways to provide more opportunities for you to learn React. That may come in the way of having a full day session somewhere. We'll bring a React expert in, and people can come optional if they want to, and they can join that session to learn more about React. I'm hoping, I've got most of it done already, so I think it'll happen, but we're actually also building a prep course, or not a course, more modules. So for people who are kind of total newbies, so to give you some background in JavaScript, they'll give you some sort of background in CSS and HTML. I'm hoping to build the React one as well, but I haven't yet started that process or that project. So yeah, so we're always trying to upgrade things and make sure that we're staying on trend. So hope that answers your question. Yeah, so Michael's asking about the in-person courses resuming after COVID. So that's a great question. Typically in a program like this, because it's part-time, we would, if it starts online, it will finish online. So if things change with, the vaccine and people can go back to sort of being in person and close contact, we'll certainly, do that. But in terms of this program, we'll kind of make the commitment, especially because we'll also start to see students from outside the GTA area. So that's another thing we've had with COVID is, and maybe that's why also our numbers have grown so high, is our target audience and our sort of demographics have changed a bit, because we obviously have students from different parts of Canada who are part of the program. So if the program starts in January online, which it is, it will finish that way. So you don't have to worry about living in Saskatoon and worry about how am I going to get myself to Toronto. Is the tutor available once a week is a question. So the answer is the way that they've been sort of slotted, that I don't have them for 24/7 like I do the instructor. So we've booked about 5 hours per week. So sometimes they're just there for 5 hours answering questions, you sending them things through Slack and getting them to sort of help support you. And sometimes they do that in addition to they're doing the open labs. So they're kind of always available. They don't have a specific time except for the open labs when they're available, but they definitely have about 5 to 6 hours per week that they dedicate to supporting students. Zay is asking, what type of computer is needed for this program? Yeah, if you, like I said, there's a on our website, there's a link to the different technologies you would need. There's no specific computer. There's software you'll have to download, but it's all free. So there's nothing that you have to purchase for the program in terms of any platforms or things like that. So any computer would work. There are some, I think, requirements and just some basic, functionality of the computer in terms of the speed of the computer, all that good stuff that you should probably just look at. So Stevie's asking, do I need a cam for the class sessions? So here's my answer on that one. Having a webcam, certainly in my opinion, is better, because it just makes it more personable when you're in a class and someone can see you and you're having a conversation that you can see their face. If you were just talking to a black screen for, from 9 to 4, that gets a little bit challenging and is not as interesting. There's no requirement that you have it. We understand that bandwidth is an issue for some people, maybe privacy is an issue for some people. So there's no requirement that you have to have it on, but certainly if you do have it on, just like you see me here, it's kind of nice to sort of see the person who you're talking to. You're not just talking to a black screen, is my opinion. What's the start date in January? Oh, I know this. It's the 16th, I believe, of January. That's a Saturday. So that's the first course. And each course is one at a time. So you're only doing one course. You finish that course to the next course. It's usually about a week off in between. If you go back to our website, which I'll do for a quick sec, actually. If you go back to our website, and if you're on this enroll screen and you click on the actual link for the session, you'll actually then see all the dates and stuff. So there's the first course. It runs from, sorry, I've got something, the question's blocking my screen, I can't see. It runs from January 16th to March 6th. And you can see all the dates that there's live sessions, just so you can plan ahead. And that's the same for the entire program. So you'll know exactly what dates you'll be in class, so you can plan your life around that. Hope that answers that question. So I'll leave this up as we sort of end, so you can take a quick picture if you want, or if not, we'll be sending the video of this recorded session to everybody sometime probably next week. So you can kind of get that if you wanted to go back and listen to something I said or wanted to share with somebody else. Otherwise, I guess we'll end it here, and I'll just say a big thanks to everybody. Have a wonderful, happy holiday. Stay healthy, and hope to see you guys in class come January. All right. Thanks very much, everybody. Have a great day. Okay, guys. See you all. Bye.